Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, Glories of Bhagwan Krishna, verse 38. In the last verse, Bhagwan Krishna said, in the Vrishni Kula, that is Yadava clan, I am Krishna. Among the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Among the Munis, I am Vyasa. Among the Kavis, I am Ushana Kavi. Verse 38. Dando damayadamasmi nitirasmi jigishatam maunam chaivasmi gugyanam jnanam jnanavadamagam. Bhagavan says, Dando damayadamasmi. Those days, kings used to have a scepter in their hands. That is a symbol of sovereignty. The king derives power by holding the scepter. The scepter represents dharma. It symbolically suggests the country is ruled by dharma, not by that king, that person. It is ruled by that dharma. It is a symbol of dharma in all his actions, in the king's actions. In whatever decisions he takes, it will be according to dharma. Thiruvalluvar says, Kudidazhi Kolochu Manila Mannan Adidazhi Nirkum Ulagu. That is, what he says is, if a king rules a country by having loving affection towards his people and according to scepter representing the dharma, all the people in that country will wish to live only under his feet, that king's feet. One is, the king must love the people. Second is, he must rule the country according to dharma, that which represents the Kolochu. Kolochu means, Kol means Sengol. That is the dharmic representing dharma, the scepter. So if he rules according to dharma, then the entire people of that country will only want to live under the feet of that king. That is what this Tirukural says. I don't have to explain more on this. Recently there was a big debate when Sengol was kept in parliament. So people must have watched. Let us not get into political debate. But scepter is always a symbol of power and sovereignty. In army, the chief of army, when he retires, he hands over a baton as a symbol of transfer of power. In courts, when the judge comes to the court, the scepter is taken by a servant or a peon before him to announce his arrival to the court. Advocates and others standing in the corridor will immediately give way for the scepter and the judge. The judge will come behind the scepter. Respect is given for the scepter, which represents dharma. That is, the judge is going to give decisions according to justice. In police also, all police constables invariably hold a lati or a stick to show their power. Those days, I remember my days, teachers used to have a cane stick to enforce discipline among the children. Danda, literally stick, is not only showing the power of the person wielding it, but it also enforces discipline according to dharma. Now the sad truth is, if the teacher hits the children, even if he is smoking cigarette, then the entire parents will go out against the teacher. Or whatever happens, now the teacher is unable to enforce. Police, you need not have to ask this question. You see the newspaper. They can't do anything. Everywhere, the danda is not properly allowed to be used. That is the problem. That is the problem in all the countries throughout the world. Bhagwan Krishna says, I am danda. among those who enforce discipline. Second, Bhagwan says, Nidirasmi Jigishadam. That is, Nidirasmi Jigishadam. That is, I am the victory that is obtained in a dharmic way. Bhagwan Krishna is Dharma personified. If victory or success in any field is obtained by illegal means, then that victory or success will not last long. It will be temporary. And it is not a true victory also. A real person, he may not be interested in that kind of a illegal victory. Bhagavan Krishna says, I am the success or victory that was obtained by fair means. In the recent Olympics held in Paris, there was one incident which was reported. I don't know whether all the people have seen this. A Kenyan runner was only a few meters away from the finish line. He was running, he was the first. He was, before touching the line, finishing line, a few meters before that, he stopped. Nobody knows the reason. Because he was under the confusion that he has touched the finishing line. So he was just like that, he was relaxing. A Spanish man who was coming behind, he was a runner, he was coming behind him. He, realizing that Kenyan's confusion, he shouted at him and asked him to run and finish that line. The Kenyan did not understand because he was speaking in Spanish. Then the Spanish man pushed the Kenyan fellow to the victory. You made him cross the finishing line. When a reporter asked the Spanish man, you could have taken the medal easily since the Kenyan stopped before the finishing line. You could have run some more distance and took the gold medal. The Spanish man seemed to have told the reporter, what would be the merit of that victory if I take that gold medal? What would be the honor of that medal if I take it? Because he was well before me. He did not understand that he should cross that line because of some reason. That is the spirit. That is the true spirit. Niti rasmi jigi shatam. That means that is the exact meaning of this. Then he says, Maunam chaivasmi gugyanam. That is, even the English saying is, speech is silver, where silence is gold. Kanchi Paramacharya has elaborately given the importance of observing silence by all the people. I am giving the highlights. I cannot give everything of what he said. I am only giving the highlights of what he said. Why people should observe silence? 1. Maunam kalaganasti. If one observes silence at home, the family will be happy. If the father keeps silence, naturally the children will be happy. Then, if politicians observe silence, then naturally the entire society or the people will be happy. Because Maunam Kalaganasti, only when you speak, the problem arises. If you keep silence, there is no problem, absolutely no problem. And nowadays, if you go on the road, the lorry fellows and car fellows or the the bike fellows remove the silencer. The horrible sound comes. Pam, pim, pam, pim, pim. Oh my God. Oh my God. Such a nonsense. You go to any silent place, you will understand the necessity of silence. Then Kanchi Paramacharya says, Maunam Sarvartha Sadhakam. That is, silence not only prevents fight between two communities or religions or political parties, but also brings all the Purusharthas, that is, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, to the person observing it. You can't say, sir, I am observing silence for a long time, but I am not getting it. You have not practiced it correctly. That is the reason why you are not getting all the Purusharthas. Then he quotes Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya in Viveka Chudamani, he says, Yogasya Pradamam Dwaram Vang Nirodhaga. That means the Dwara, entrance, Gurudwara, they say, the entrance for Yoga Samrajya, that is kingdom of Yoga's kingdom. Silence is the entrance. If you want to enter Yoga Samrajya, silence is the entrance. That is the Dwar. That is what Adi Shankaracharya says in Viveka Chudamani. Then Tayumanavar, a Tamil saint, a great Tamil saint, he says, Sindayai Adakiye Summa Irukkum Tiram Aridu. That is, Chinda means Manas. You have to control the Manas. It is not you keep your mouth shut, but your Manas, your mind goes on jumping. You have to keep your mouth shut and also the Manas calm, your mind calm. Both are important. He says, controlling both, it is very difficult. That is what he says. Then, another thing what Kanchi Paramacharya says is, Mauna Vyakya Pragadida Parabrahma Tattva. Mauna Vyakya Pragadida Parabrahma Tattva. That means Parabrahmam cannot be reached or even touched by Manas or Vak. Manas is mind, Vak is speech. Both cannot touch. The Parabrahmam cannot be touched by Manas or Vak. Where there is no Manas and Vak, that is where there is no mind and there is no speech, complete silence of Manas and Vak, then only Parabrahmam can be realized. Then finally Kanchi Paramacharya says, the word Muni itself means is a Mauni, that is completely silent person. He says each one must practice silence at least for half an hour in a day. Keep your mouth shut. Initially, that is more than enough. Initially, 24 hours is there. Half an hour, 8 hours you sleep. You don't say, sorry, 8 hours I am keeping my mouth shut. And if you are snoring, then you are not keeping your mouth shut. When you are awake, he says, half an hour. For people like me who are practicing advocates, then it is very difficult to keep ourselves controlled. But we should observe that. That is very important. Keep half an hour mouth shut when you are awake. Initially, that is enough. But after some time, one must practice complete silence, both by controlling the mouth and by controlling the mind. Not only outward silence is enough, because inwardly, if you are boiling, then one day, like a pressure cooker, it will come out. So, inward silence is also more important. Outward silence alone is not enough. Both should be there. Initially, you control outwardly, and then through that, you control the mind. Later on, after you get that, controlling the mind, control your outside tongue also. Once you reach the silence, then you may not be interested in talking with anybody at all. That is why you become a Muni. You keep silent. Many saints and sages, they go to Himalayas or other serene places to observe silence. Nature is always silent. You can see that. Early morning you get up. What a wonderful silence it is. 2-3 kilometers away a train will be going. You can hear that sound. Only in deep silence one can enter into the secret caves of the heart. And the heart can be, at that time only you can explore it. That will only lead to Atmajnana. Hence Bhagwan Krishna says, I am silence among the secrets. Then Bhagwan says, Jnanam jnanavadamaham. Among the wise persons, I am the wisdom. The wisdom of a person is not that person. The glory of that person shines through the wisdom. Hence, Krishna says, I am that wisdom. Verse 38. Dando damayadamasmi nitirasmi jigishadam maunam chaivasmi gudyanam jnanam jnanavadamagam. Next verse we will see tomorrow. Harihom Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Narayana 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 Narayana